Certainly, let's go deeper into the multifaceted effects of humanity's rise on Earth's ecosystems, further elaborate on galactic perceptions of human behavior, and add layers to the consortium's debate on humanity's potential. This version explores Earth's transformation, humanity's role as both destroyers and creators, and the philosophical and strategic implications of humans entering the galactic community. In the annals of the Galactic Historical Consortium, one event on a modest planet called Earth is regarded with an awe usually reserved for ancient supernovae, or the formation of black holes. It is not a story of stellar explosions or cosmic phenomena, but rather of life itself, of extinction and the remarkable, paradoxical species that catalyzed it. This event, marked as the unique extinction of Earth's Mega-Fauna, has puzzled and captivated scholars across countless star systems. Here was a world where, without a cataclysmic impact or planetary disaster, entire ecosystems were reshaped by the ascendance of a single species, Homo sapiens. The implications of humanity's influence on Earth's ecosystems, particularly the extinction of its largest and most powerful creatures, resonate with scholars and strategists across the galaxy as both a marvel and a caution. Planet Earth, located in an unremarkable spiral arm of the Milky Way, has experienced numerous mass extinction events. These were typically caused by large-scale natural phenomena, asteroids, supervolcanic eruptions, tectonic shifts. But the wave of extinctions that swept across the planet around 12,000 Earth years ago was an anomaly in the consortium's records. It was driven by a new variable, a species that was relatively small, physically unimposing, yet capable of unanticipated influence. The arrival of humanity marked the beginning of a transformation on Earth unlike anything seen before. Unlike the predators of Earth's past, humans did not simply hunt. They altered landscapes, mastered fire, crafted tools, and most crucially evolved a culture that propelled them far beyond the limitations of natural instinct. In the early days, humanity was merely one species among many, indistinct from others on the African savannas where they first emerged. The land was dominated by giant herds of mammoths, powerful aurochs, saber-toothed cats, and the towering ground sloths of South America. In other planetary systems with megafauna, such creatures often became apex species, shaping ecosystems around them for tens of thousands of years. But on Earth, the pattern broke. With the arrival of humans, these seemingly invincible creatures would soon disappear. Early humans were unlike anything these megafauna had ever encountered. Unlike traditional predators, they did not rely on raw power or swiftness. Instead, they brought something else: creativity, strategy, and a seemingly insatiable drive to understand and control their environment. Their ability to work collectively allowed them to invent and innovate rapidly. What began as scavenging evolved into highly organized hunting parties. They developed weapons that extended their reach, stone-tipped spears and later the bow and arrow, that enabled them to hunt creatures many times their size. But it was not simply hunting that spelled doom for Earth's megafauna. Humans reshaped entire landscapes to suit their needs, using fire to clear vast swathes of land for grasslands, driving herds into confined areas, and altering rivers to suit their settlements. This transformation of the land, combined with relentless hunting, destabilized ecosystems that had been stable for millennia. Forests were transformed into open plains, attracting grazers and, subsequently, the predators that fed on them. Human expansion cascaded through the web of life on Earth in ways they could not have foreseen, yet would ultimately lead to the downfall of many of the planet's greatest creatures. The loss of Earth's megafauna happened not all at once, but in waves that rippled through the planet's interconnected ecosystems. Giant mammals, once ubiquitous, began to vanish in region after region. The mammoths, those iconic denizens of the Ice Age, were among the first to disappear. In Australia, unique creatures such as the giant kangaroo and the thunderous diprotodon were driven to extinction. South America's towering ground sloths, North America's fearsome short-faced bear, and Europe's mega-herbivores each met similar fates. With the disappearance of these large herbivores, the landscapes themselves changed. The balance of plant life, the spread of certain species, and even the soil compositions altered as the impact of these massive grazers faded. Alien scholars were initially baffled by Earth's records, as most planetary extinction events of Mega-Fauna were either caused by celestial impacts or natural disasters. Yet here was a species that had not only survived alongside giant creatures but had thrived at their expense, reshaping the ecosystems around them without any outside influence. The consortium began to classify this as a new phenomenon, an anthropogenic cascade. For the first time in recorded galactic history, a single species had demonstrated the capacity to alter ecosystems so profoundly that entire lineages of Mega-Fauna were wiped out without an external catastrophe. The consortium's archives filled with theories and analyses, as xenobiologists and ecologists tried to make sense of the unique combination of traits that made humans so different. Dr. Silax Thorke of the Yavin Collective, a leading ecologist, wrote an extensive analysis on the psychological impact of predator-driven extinctions. According to her, humans exhibited a trait she termed adaptive dominance, the capacity to not only adapt to environments, but to mold them according to their needs, often at the expense of the natural balance. Humans, she argued, did not view themselves as part of a natural cycle but rather as masters of it. They adapted tools and techniques not to fit into ecosystems but to make ecosystems fit them. What fascinated alien scholars even more was the deeply paradoxical nature of humanity's relationship with Earth's Mega-Fauna. In one breath, humans revered these creatures, painting them onto cave walls, embedding them into myth and lore as symbols of power, endurance, and beauty. And yet, at the same time, they hunted them into oblivion. Why did they immortalize these creatures in art only to drive them to extinction? Why did they seem to mourn the very creatures they themselves destroyed? To most alien species, whose relationships with their environments were characterized by balance and sustainability, this paradox was almost incomprehensible. Dr. Ixtar Valine, a Xylopian sociobiologist, argued that humans operated under what she called dualistic reverence, a psychological framework that allowed them to empathize with creatures while simultaneously exploiting them. According to Dr. Valine, humanity's actions were a manifestation of a unique evolutionary drive, the simultaneous pursuit of survival and meaning. Unlike other species, which hunted for sustenance alone, humans attached symbolic meaning to their hunts, crafting rituals, myths, and stories that imbued their prey with a significance beyond mere survival. This capacity for symbolism and storytelling, Valine argued, created a complex moral landscape where reverence and destruction could coexist. Meanwhile, on Earth, humans continued to transform their world in ways that even they could not fully understand. They did not only hunt animals, they changed the very landscape to fit their needs. Rivers were diverted, plains were burned, and mountains were stripped for minerals. As their societies advanced, humans developed agriculture, creating fields of crops in place of native ecosystems and domesticating animals to serve their purposes. Each change in their environment rippled outward, affecting not only other species but entire biomes. The disappearance of Mega-Fauna meant fewer herbivores to clear foliage, leading to denser forests and changes in fire cycles. Predators that relied on these large herbivores found themselves without sufficient food sources, leading to further extinctions and, eventually, the rise of smaller, more adaptable species that could thrive in the altered landscapes. As the consortium continued to study humanity, they began to see Earth's story as a critical case study, a tale of both caution and intrigue. To many scholars, humanity's behavior was emblematic of a broader potential, the capacity to transform worlds, for better or worse. Humans were not bound by the instincts that govern most species. They could rationalize, innovate, and adapt on timescales that seemed to outpace evolution itself. This adaptability fascinated some alien observers, who viewed humans as a force for progress, a species capable of reviving barren worlds or breathing life into desolate systems. But others warned that humans would carry their paradoxical nature into the cosmos, that they would reshape every world they touched in ways that could lead to unforeseen consequences. Earth's Mega-Fauna extinction became a model for understanding the risks and opportunities that came with humanity's entry into the galactic community. The consortium instituted a new classification for species with transformative impact potential, labeling humanity an ecological catalyst. This designation acknowledged both the positive and negative potential of human expansion. In time, consortium policymakers began to require special clearance for human-led colonization efforts, knowing that humanity's actions, while innovative, could also be unpredictable. As humanity's influence expanded across the galaxy, they carried with them the memory of Earth's lost giants. They remembered the mammoths, the saber-toothed cats, and the towering sloths, often with a mixture of pride and regret. Their history of extinction shaped their approach to new worlds. Some human colonies took on a conservationist stance, seeking to preserve native ecosystems, while others replicated Earth's transformation, exploiting resources with an industrial zeal. On worlds with similar Mega-Fauna, humans sometimes formed alliances, integrating these creatures into their societies. Yet, on others, they treated them as they had Earth's giants, viewing them as obstacles to be overcome. As humanity continues its journey among the stars, the legacy of Earth's Mega-Fauna extinction endures as a cautionary tale and a testament to their complex nature. They are a species that embodies contradiction, destroyers and creators, hunters and guardians, reverent yet unrestrained. In the cosmic archives, their story remains one of the galaxy's most fascinating and unresolved mysteries. And as they forge new paths across the galaxy watches with both awe and caution, aware that within humanity lies the potential to transform worlds forever.